Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Right, today is not necessarily a Friday. It is? Is it? Is it? No, not necessarily a Friday. Today is a Saturday, and we're gonna be looking at what happened during the week. We're gonna be looking at the trades taken and everything and how the market reacted, what we did right, what we did wrong, and yeah. So for gold, what I was looking for, since this was just an explanation of how the my trading really works. For gold, I was looking for sales on gold. I was looking for sales on gold, which it really didn't actually sell. I was waiting for the break of the Asian low, and I would have entered my sales, but gold since they didn't do that, as you see on the 1 hour. Literally, we come here, didn't really break my Asian low, just really rejected it, pushed up, and actually broke up. Right, broke up, broke the Asian high, which is fine. If I was looking for buys, then I would have entered these buys. But since I was looking for sales, I did not enter those buys. Yes. So now, and nothing really gave me confirmation of we are we're definitely buying on this pair. So it really did not trade it. I did monitor it, but I did not trade it at all. Now, US oil. Here we go. Yes, US oil. I was looking for sales, right? As you can see, yes, it did sell. Let's come here for hour. Like I said, remember before, I did do a video of like explaining how I thought that this might be an head and shoulders, right? Explaining how we might have a head and shoulders, a head and shoulders right over forming here. Maybe we're gonna create this right shoulder, but the market did not do that, right? As we've seen now, it did not do that, and it actually broke. This was Wednesday. This was Wednesday. The market broke, and all I was waiting for was this retest that I created. I think on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday or Monday it was that I created, explaining that this could also happen, explaining that this could be a bearish flag, which it was, but it retested inside, right above our resistance support 10 to resistance, right? It retested inside. I didn't expect it to go inside, so obviously did not get the break of the Asian low, as I recall, so I did not enter. Let me just see and make sure. Yeah, did not get any break of the Asian low. Actually broke up higher and then continued to go higher before actually coming down with this gigantic candlestick, which broke everything, right? So people might be asking why I did not enter this, trade, because I was right about the sales, and it did sell, So I was right about the overall direction, but yeah. So for me, the reason why I did, and I'm looking at it now, and I'm thinking that we might have a, okay, let me just explain before I continue, because I think I'm getting all over the place now. The reason why I did not sell it was because I wasn't really monitoring it. That's the blatant truth. I wasn't really monitoring. After I saw it like push up, I just didn't monitor it. And this break happened, like 6 o'clock. I wasn't really on the chart at that time. Wasn't really looking at it. I saw it maybe later in the night, maybe even the next day, if I can remember correctly, but I wasn't really monitoring it. So it eventually went down with this candlestick, and then really didn't go to the Asian low. Never really went back to the Asian low. Just sold from there. From that point, it just sold, and yeah, that's like pretty much it. Now, going on to what I was saying, what I wanted to say is, I'm looking at it, and I think it could still continue to go down. You know, I'm thinking that it's still can continue to go down because now we're broken. Remember when I told you about this high, this current lower high? I also told you about this low right here, about this low right here. So obviously, this low right here, and obviously this low now has been broken, right? It has been broken, so it has been broken, and now I'm looking for a continuation. I'm looking for it for the market to. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this pair to continue to go down, right? I think that it's gonna go down. What I'm hoping for on the 4 hour is this. Oh, what I'm hoping that we see, and this is bad of me to say, hope, but what I'm looking for is it to do something like this, right, before going down, to create something. Oh my, this might be too clustered for you guys. Let me just remove some of the things here so you guys can understand. Remove this Asian low, Asian high. So let me just remove this supposed support, yeah, and have these ones, yeah. I'm looking for it to create something of this manner right here, whereby it went down, corrected, and then finally went down, right? That's what I'm looking for from this, from oil right here, right? I see now that we have impulsed. I'm waiting for that small correction. It could even come up here like small correction, and then a push to the downside, right? And like this is our lowest point. Not really our lowest point, but this is like the lowest low current on the current market, right? And it's on the daily. It's on the daily. So this is our lowest low that we have. I'm thinking that if we see this type of formation on Monday, then yes, we're pretty much looking for those sells. But oil can have this deep these deep corrections whereby it just goes in. It goes in, and then that's when it falls, right? So it's gonna be something that we have to monitor, that I have to monitor and keep a lookout for, So yeah. And then I'm not gonna look at NAS 100. I'm gonna look at the GBP JPY. Now let me just reveal my path, horizontally. Where is, did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Okay, but that's fine. I can pretty much explain it. Okay, let's go to the daily. On the daily, we were, overall we were bullish. Overall, we're bullish. This line right here was daily support. And this was a daily high, the current high, not like the highest high. No, this was just our current high at the time where the market was at. So yeah, now we're going to the 4 hours, and we had this weird head and shoulders forming within this smaller trend line, which was also drawn on the 4 hour, the smaller trend line that we have, the smaller trend pushing to the upside. That's what we had. And based on it, based on what we've seen or what has happened from it, this push and correction and push up, I knew that this would definitely be a buyer because of the formation and where it was and the current and the current placing of the price. Yeah, it was bound to be bullish. As you can see, I've had this support here, which we have been testing, and this rejection right here, this one, this big rejection right here, this one, this rejection right there, that rejection literally told me that yes, we are looking for buys. Now obviously I have rules that I need to follow, so I'm not just gonna trade, to trade. Obviously, yeah, you can understand. Okay, now we're bullish. We've had this rejection. Okay, I think it's time to enter. But I think this was late at night, right? Oh, this was during the day. Yeah. Okay, this was during the day, and so I did not enter, but I looked at this and I thought that yes, this is the type of formation that you like to see, right? Oh yeah, it actually broke my Asian low, but then came up inside, tried to push down but failed to break this, and then pushed up higher. Now we're just waiting for the break of the Asian high, which came the next day, which was here, which was right there. That's our Asian high. The market broke there, as you can see. Let me just remove this inverse head and shoulder. I was waiting for a correction to go deep inside. I actually had this here, but when I saw the rejection, end here, that's when I moved it, and I just waited for market to end the. I'm sorry. I just waited for. Let me just do this. I just waited for the market to end the Asian session, right? After that, once it was ended, I put down my Asian highs and Asian lows. So after that, I just waited for the break, of my Asian high. The break of my Asian high. Once that happened, I knew that we were buying, right? Based on the formation and everything, I knew that we were buying. I entered right around there. Let me just remove this and remove this. I entered right around here, right around here, this part. That's where I entered my buys on the GBP JPY. Also, I waited. I knew that, okay, once I entered there, obviously my stop loss was still below, so you can see, and stop loss wasn't really that far away. It was somewhere around. It was really close to that Asian. It was really close to the Asian low, right? And obviously my TP was at this, at the top there, Yeah, because I remember I had the risk to reward ratio was a 1:2 point something. I can't remember, it was 2 point whatever, but it was a 1:2 nonetheless, right? Which is also makes for a great trade. Now, what I also what I also did was and I'm gonna be front with you guys, because of the size of account that I had, because we were under a certain amount. I just told myself that under the certain amount, I'm not allowed to open uh um more than I'm not allowed to open, more than one trade, right? What does that mean? It means that even if in this situation, this trade should have never been taken, right? And people may look at it as leaving money on the table, which in some ways, yes, you could say it is. Yeah, you're leaving money on the table, but in this industry, it's not supposed to be about money. You know, you're not supposed to, hyper focus on that. You don't, it mustn't be something that you hyper focus on. So, me, I was hyper focused on, the aspect of that money, because I could have went overboard and just went like, okay, at this point, I'm just gonna add like 4 trades or whatever. But I I just told myself that I'm just gonna add this trade and that's it. Which is, it doesn't matter if you are adding and it's correct, because if it was wrong, you would have said I shouldn't have added. I shouldn't have I shouldn't have done that. And if you look at this right now, because most of the trades that I add, normally I don't put a stop loss on them, right? Unless like they are, excuse me, unless they are Asian highs and Asian low are fairly far apart. This ones, they were too close. This Asian low and Asian high, they were definitely too close for me to add a stop loss on this add-on trade, which I didn't add a stop loss, right? So what happened here was the market continued. It just played around, pushed up. Like I said, we had a few, like corrections. We had this correction here, and then we started to get that impulsive movement. We had another correction. We had this small correction right here, and then we got this bigger overall, impulsive movement to the top. We got another correction, because obviously we're on a lower time frame, so we're bound to get, more than one, corrections, right? Because we are on a smaller time frame, so the market will definitely uh be trending, will definitely be trending at the smaller time frames, right? So also, what you also should notice is that we're practically like creating this new highs. Obviously, impulsive move, correction, high, impulsive move, correction. We have a higher high, we have a higher high right there, we have a higher high over here. Now we have a correction, we have equal lows over here, and then we have that impulsive move. Right, we have that impulsive move, correct it, and I can tell we have this impulsive move again, right? Which keeps going on and 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 on, right? Not for that long, but yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea, guys. So this was the overall trade that I took, and this was the overall trade for the week that ended in a take profit hit. We hit take profit. Even this, we hit take profit over this as well. So this was definitely two good trades. This was definitely two good trades they were taking, and that did end up in fruition, right? So yeah, currently happy about how this this week. Currently happy about how this week really ended, and hopefully we can continue going like this into the next week. Without the breaking of rules and everything, because as much as we glide over the fact that we set our rules and we make it that easy to break them, there definitely has to be consequences, right? There definitely has to be, some repercussions and some consequences to what we are doing, when we break this um when we break our own trading rules. And the only person who's gonna help the only person who's gonna be held responsible is us. So we must find ways to uh, punish us, so that we remember that, what, the last time I did this, I had to do this. The last time I broke my rules, I had to do this. So I don't want that anymore, right? I don't know what a feasible punishment for me would be. Um, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it, and so yeah, it's something that I have to look at, this week. Sorry, uh, this week, and see how I can also improve, set better rules that I must follow, rules that I must respect, because breaking rules is not a sense of breaking your own trading rules is not a sense of making a mistake. No, it's a sense of not respecting the rules you have had in place. You're not respecting the rules that you have placed. So that's why, well, a lot of journalists would tell you, like, yeah, follow this, follow, do this, do this, do this, which is also great. You are not, one thing I think, as traders, we are not allowed to, or you shouldn't be allowed, or allow yourself to form your own personal rules based on other people's experience, you know, within the whole market, right? We all don't have the same amount of risk tolerance. This also plays part in setting rules. We don't have the same amount of risk tolerance. We don't have the same amount of capital. These are factors that need to be considered when also making your rules, right? The type of account you're doing. You have to um you have to look it up. That's something that you should improve on, and that's something you should keep on working on. So for me now, that's what I'm gonna try to do, right? That's what I'm gonna try to do, and hopefully I figure it out, and I can trade, knowing that trade with a much higher sense of confidence, knowing that, you know, the rules that I created have put me and have helped me to get where I am. And yeah, that is the general uh, goal for me. That is the general goal for me. So it's a process, but it's also a process that I'm willing to take. So yeah. So guys, let me look at Euro USD. Euro USD. I'm glad that I did not enter this. Some people are asking why. Because I remember. Yeah, here it was. Here, this is an Asian low, as you can see, 5 o'clock. Never had anything lower within the Asian session. Fine. So what time was it? It was 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The market broke the Euro USD Asian low. I did not enter, right? I this was my thought process, and this is definitely one thing that I did correctly, right? This would be our Asian high, because at this point, this was the highest point that the market has ever reached within the Asian session, and it doesn't have any higher point than that within this Asian session, right? So for me, like I said, 2 o'clock, the market broke. I think I got this alert. I had an alert that the market broke, and I just I looked at it and I said I cannot enter this trade because of what's happening in the demo, right? In a demo, I'll show you guys in a bit. In a demo, um, I had this trade that I just entered. I entered right there. Uh, I entered right here. Right here. So when I entered this trade, I was already on my real account. I was already trading the GBP JPY, so I was already in that, and I couldn't open any other trades. There would have been uh unnecessary pressure on the account, and I would have basically be cutting out its space to breathe. So I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't. So I opened this trade on a demo account, and I didn't put a stop loss. I didn't take it that seriously, which is also bad for me, right? Despite it being the correct movement, I did not take it seriously. I know that I wouldn't have done the same if I did open it on the real account. I know that. So yeah, like I say, there's things that I need to work on. So yes, this trade I opened on the demo account, and now at the bottom here, right? At the bottom here, when I wanted to enter it right here, when I wanted to enter the trade right there, I stopped myself and I told myself that I cannot enter this trade on my real account based on what's happened here, right? Based on what's happened at the top right there, right? So that's one thing. That's one correct thing that I did. I did not base this trade, you know, over something that happened yesterday, you know, over something that happened yesterday or the day before. Because, as much as you look at it, this is not the same as this right here. It's not the same as this right there, right? It's not the same as this right here. So for me, it's not really the same trade. So I don't want to enter it. And I was looking at it. I was like, maybe it could be like an add-on. I was like, it's not necessarily an add-on if it's a new trade. So I'll be basically taking a new trade, and this is not a good, well, first of all, it's not a good place to enter, because obviously, where would you want to end? I want to end here, I want to end here, and this risk to reward ratio is not really, sorry about that. Let me just remove this risk to reward ratio it's not the best, you know. It's not the best, guys. It's not the best, you know. Definitely not the best. A zero point 0.5, a 0.95 risk to reward ratio, it's never the best, right? Unless if I had these trades on the real account whereby I'm already in here and I'm already, you know, um looking to be, I'm already, you know, in blues, already have, you know, more to play around with, right? I wouldn't mind taking this trade, but I didn't, right? This first trade doesn't exist. It only exists in a demo account, right? The only trade that would have existed is this one. So I did not take this trade. I didn't deem it as a, you know, as I was uh I didn't deem it as, you know, when I'm wrong, uh they're saying really, you know, nah. I just deemed it as a trade that's not worth taking. Sometimes some trades are not worth taking, right? And it's, I don't know how to explain it. Um I just don't know how to explain it. Some trades are just not worth taking. You just have to look at how the market has structured itself at that point. You know what you're trying with. What also, this also goes in with what you're trying to do. You know what you're trying to do. Like I said, from this point up here, from this point up here, right? Yeah, from this point up here, guys. Obviously, you wouldn't be looking to, you if you had entered a trade up, like up here. The best thing now for this trade, if you want to, the only reason why you would also, not really the best thing, the only reason why you would take this trade over here is to add on, is to add more, you know, is to add more wins to, your trade, right? And obviously this is putting on more risk, right? Obviously, but it's risk that this profits right here, this currently running profits, can handle. You don't have to look at your initial capital to handle that type of um drawdown. Your profits can immensely help you with that, right? So that's the only way you take this trade. Is if this trade is, or you're already in, and you're already in a good position, right? So that's why I did not take this trade, and I did not take it on the real account. I don't think I even took it on the demo. I just left it, So yeah, I just wanted to see it on the 4 hour and see how the market structure look. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So basically, we'll just wait and see what actually happens. With the market open on Monday, obviously Sunday, I'm gonna be preparing for the whole week on Sunday. So yeah, very, 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 very glad with the way we ended this week.